Is it time to deliver chips galore? Injuries, penalties that are just skyrocketing all the way to row Z, and players who are highly priced who are just done absolutely nothing at the moment. But as always, this is a guarantee each week. Always return. That is the FPL Addicts podcast. It being the Gameweek 3 edition with the usual enthusiastic crew. One guy who's reveled his head around the new stadium. The buzz within him is back. And one has just come off the couch watching what is probably a snooze fest qualifying game in the Conference League, supposedly as a result of a protest. But without further ado, let's bring the other two in. That is, first of all, it being Rev, who's going cold on a certain someone. Good evening to you, first of all.
Good evening, Chaza. Always a pleasure to be back. And what a week of FPL chaos. It's been transfers going off, people moving about. Even just this afternoon, big news coming out of Newcastle signing a striker. Who knows what that could be in preparation for? But that's going to cause a seismic shift, of course, in all of our FPL teams. And I think here on the FPL Addicts podcast, guys, I've got a plan. I've got a plan to deal with it so we can be best prepared for the upcoming chaos. But I'm here and I'm loving it, man. Loving it.
He's got a plan. I wonder if the same can be said for Marcello. Nonetheless, good evening to you. How are you tracking? In fairness, you have a wildcard to our podcast this season. There's a lot of people playing the chip.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone. See Miriam in the chat. Hello there. Hello, lads.
How's it
going? Palace fully
and Gary
through
as well.
into the Conference League now, so celebrate that draw that we just got. Gary's in the chat. Colm's in the chat. Let's go, squad.
Gary's about to get kicked out the chat. I'm joking. I love you, bro. No, I hope you're doing well, Gary. Hope you're doing well, Mim. And Colm as well. Colm the legends. Coming in strong as always. We love you guys. Love it.
Right. We mentioned it already. It's a P word. That's problems. Usually when we have problems within life in general, and in fairness, a constant for the next 9 months have been in Fantasy Premier League. It's best to talk about them straight away. So we go straight to our mini leagues. Both of you have got your screens on standby. I'll go from the bottom. Marcello, I will put your side straight up as a result of you being fourth at the moment. But in fairness, it's still so early days. Therefore, rank is irrelevant. But for total score for our mini league, it always is. Take it away with your 49, undefeated.
Yeah, 49 points. I mean, just under average. I guess it's not great, really. But I don't know. Last season, when I had a bad week, I would be really panicking. This year, I kind of don't feel like I'm panicking. I feel like everyone's doing badly. I mean, some people must be doing well, but it's not me. It's not most people I know. And, my star this week was Collins. Brentford did the business as predicted. So 9-pointer from him, picked up his DEFCON, picked up his clean sheet. And then you've also got...
Yeah, very nice, especially given their poor result the week before. It was good to see them kind of, hitting the ground running against Aston Villa side.
Just shows how good Forest were in that first game.
Really does, yeah.
And then Cucurella didn't keep the clean sheet against West Ham, unfortunately, but got his assist. So, like we said, he loves to get up there in the attack. Bruno, that penalty miss. Oh gosh, what's happening?
What could have been?
Oh.
What could have been? Chaza, you get in the bin, lads. I've never seen someone so lucky as Chaza, honest to God. Like he went without you've gone without Bruno, haven't you, Chaza? And it's been fully justified, but sometimes, outcome of choice is not necessarily reflective of outcome of points. And I think it was a bad choice.
Yeah. Speaking of bad choices, I had Kroopy Jr. on the first spot on my bench instead of Keane, who got an 8-pointer instead of the 1-pointer. So he came on for Palmer, who was my captain, and then my vice went to Watkins. So that Palmer sub was I was fuming. I was actually at the theatre watching Back to the Future, amazing show. had like really cheap £20 tickets. I'd recommend to anyone. The production was insane, but yeah, the Parma captain choice wasn't as magical as the theatre show, but can't complain. I was checking my phone like through the show, like, oh, Pedro scores, and then a little fist pump. And then he got his second one, and I always got out my chair. And then I think at one point the steward came up to me and was like, "Is this guy filming? Make sure you're not got it on your phone during the theatre." But just checking the scores.
Spoken like a true FPL addict.
Exactly.
Hey, yeah, you're one of us now. You've fully settled in. Yeah.
And then Salah with his last-minute assist, doing what he always does best. So,
he's an engine,
the
isn't
only
he?
mistake
Keeps
was
going.
Keane on second place instead of Kroopy. That was a bit silly, really.
So we live and we learn. And as always, thank you, Cello. I'm very intrigued to see what moves you make this week, especially having fun with the solitary flag right there. We remove one, we'll bring in another, also starting with an R, it being the Reverend. Take it away. Or are you going fast forward, are you? Is this your team for next week?
Okay, so sorry. Points. Yeah, here we go.
55.
Sorry about that.
Good.
Has it changed? Has it updated?
Yeah, it has, yeah.
Oh, I can't. It doesn't look like it's updated for me.
Well, we can see your side.
Okay, cool. Right. Well, I'll just forgive me. I'll look over at my second monitor then. Oh, it's updated. Okay, so first of all, the boys in blue. The boys in blue. Let's just talk about Everton for a second.
New stadium.
James, Cello, Tarkowski was on. He was on. If I just look at he was on 9 defensive contributions for like forever. And literally the last kick of the game was his 10th defensive contribution. Honest to God, I've never cheered for just the defender kicking the ball before. It was absolute scenes. So that was excellent. I was absolutely
it's good
loving
to hear
that.
you're following it through the game.
Yeah. Oh no, exactly. Like I was just there, like, come on, just one more clearance. Yeah, that'd be great. And Dai obviously coming in with the goal. Yeah, he had a really good game as well. He's just really good to watch, really fun to watch. And aside from that, Yao Pedro doing the business. Esteve coming in, like for a lot of us this week, playing the Burnley £4 million man, who is very famously on Twitter doing the rounds, going, I don't know what FPL is, but I'll try my best. So that's pretty good. Mark Guiu got some minutes finally, so he'll be interesting to see, but he's probably going to be out of most of our teams this week anyway, given what's happened to Cole Palmer. And then, unfortunately, my bench is embarrassing, really, because my bench is currently better than any bench boost that I've had in the past 2 seasons. So the Bravka, Anderson, and Van der Ven all coming in with some points there. Obviously Palmer with the 0, but still that's some solid points there on the bench, which I'm not terribly happy about. A 16-pointer. I would have taken that as a bench boost, if I'm being honest. But never mind. We move on. Watkins as a captaincy shout. I don't know what's going on with this Aston Villa side. It feels like everyone's playing in the wrong position. I watched the game and I was thinking, why is Tielemans over there? Why is Rodgers over there? What's Mr. Good Evening trying? I've got no idea what he's doing. And, I know every one of us would think that we would like to, go into any side and be a quote unquote football manager. But I don't know what's happening there tactically. It does look like a little bit of a shambles at the moment. But, as always with FPL, there are other fires to put out other than Watkins. And I think as well, the big talking point is the Bruno Fernandes penalty miss. He could have had about 10 points. He could have had bonus. He got the -2 from the penalty miss. He hit DEFCON defensive contributions. which was great. But those were the only 2 points that are showing for him at the moment. And with what just happened to Man United midweek, sorry to any Manchester United fans in the chat to remind you. Obviously, people will want to forget about it, but it's not looking great for the Man United assets, especially given that I know that this week they play Burnley. However, they've got Man United and Chelsea in game week 4 and game week 5 as well, and so it's not exactly looking ideal.
No, that interview that Amarin did after the game was really quite puzzling, and he just seems like the team hates me. They've been the performance.
Oh man, it was sad to watch, wasn't it?
He couldn't even watch the shootout. Like, how worrying is that? And then
that's
he kind
weird
of said,
behavior.
"Oh, the best team won in the end. It would have been unfair if Grimsby won." Like, what a loser mentality! Like, you could never hear Arnie Slot saying something like that. Like,
he's so defeated, isn't he?
Oh, it's just not what you want to see at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
so anyway, that's my team. And so before I hand back over to you, Chaz, I just want to say good evening to Kieran as well. FPL Discomfort in the chat, doing bits. And he's met you at Fest there, Chaz, and he's back for more mullet action.
No, that was a really good event. I'm sure Marcello could say the same at Fest. It was the first time actually going. It would have been that Friday last week. And it's good how everyone gathers at the start of the season. I could understand there being a lot of effort behind the scenes. So true credit to not just the venue host, but also Gianni and Ed for putting it together for yet another season. And it was just a really good night. Fair to say, Marcello?
Yeah, loved it, really. It was good to be with other FPL managers. I quite liked the players' insights. They had a few professionals there with some nice chat as well. And a couple freebies. And good night.
That's it. Well, thank you, Rev. I can't wait to see what moves you pull out, especially there's one player I know who you will talk about come later on. But we haven't quite finished yet. We've got to still carry on with the other half of our mini league, and it's people who are sort of position sandwiched between the two sides that have already been shown. So the next guy, he's probably taken up drag racing this week. He takes up a different sport every 7 days. We've got to check Reidy side just very quickly. He did get the highest of us for the Blink One Eto in 59 points. Just see how we went. Senese 9 points. So that was a really good shout. Cody Gakpo as well with a 10 pointer, and João Pedro. But he did bench the double Burnley defense. But actually, not a bad week from him. All right, straight to the top.
Unlucky with Vaitenori as well.
Oh God!
That's harsh for Reidy. That is harsh.
Speak of the devil right here. He's also shown as evidently down back. He's an issue to sort out. Munoz with the assist. Senesi, a great point of difference in their home win over Wolves. Van de Ven, a bit jammy as a result of Palmer not playing, but Ramsey didn't show up either. Salah last-minute assist, and João Pedro was a great start to the weekend with 15 points, and my weekend wasn't ruined by game one. But bench to Bracker, so I've won, but at what cost? Yeah, that's how the teams are at the moment, and that is our update after game week 2 for our 4-player consisted mini league. Rev, now before I briefly show the public league, there's a point that you want to come across. That's forward options. Talk to us sort of what's on your mind in terms of what you want to discuss.
Yeah, so forward options, it's quite interesting because a lot of us are looking to get rid of Cole Palmer at the moment. And I'm sure that there will be people in the comments and in the chat, also across the FPL community, who are wondering what to do with Cole Palmer. And for me, it's a structure thing. And Chaza, look, I know that I slammed your 3-4-3 at the beginning of the season, but that's looking to be a good move given the injury to Cole Palmer, because you've got your structure right there. But I'm thinking that in terms of forward options, I think that there are a few players that we need to talk about. And it kind of all depends on what happens to Alexander Isak. So, breaking news as of this afternoon, Newcastle have just signed an £80 million striker. So the knock-on effect, the old domino effect of that, what a lot of people in the media presume is that that will pave the way for Alexander Isak to sign for Liverpool, which means that Ekitike is probably off the menu. Not that people will be looking to bring him in this week, but against an Arsenal side, he has, of course, been had a great start to his Liverpool career, scoring in both of his games with 71 minutes and 79 minutes. But if Isak does come in, his minutes will be even more at risk, or he might go out to the left and then Cody Gakpo might be a bit more at risk. We'll have to see what happens. So, going Palmer down to Gakpo is a little bit of an issue. So, what do we do with him? The best option, if you don't have him as a forward option, is João Pedro. I feel like that goes without saying. He's got some great fixtures here: Fulham, Brentford, United, and Brighton in his next few. The other one, I think, which I want to talk about, is this gentleman right here. He plays West Ham, Burnley, and Sunderland in his next four. He's the man, the myth, the legend. He's Chris Wood. And so if we're going Cole Palmer out of our teams, we're probably going to be wanting to look at this guy who plays Sunderland in Gameweek 6. And I think one of the best things about Chris Wood as a forward option is that a lot of FPL managers are looking to free hit in Gameweek 6. But if we have Chris Wood already in our team, we might maybe be tempted to save the free hits a little bit more down the line. Maybe a few more injuries happen and we can get, a little bit of a better opportunity and cover some of the free hitters in that instance. But yeah, so those are some of the forward options. What do we think about those options, boys?
To you, Cello.
Yeah, I think I said last week the biggest mistake I made in Game Week 1 was tripling up on Forest and not having Chris Wood, because I wish I had Chris Wood. I'd bring in him. I'd captain him this week against a terrible West Ham team who are conceding corners from crosses, and I just think Chris Wood is going to absolutely go crazy this weekend against West Ham. So if you don't have Chris Wood in your team, you've got Palmer, 2 transfers, easily done. Upgrade your cheapest striker, get Palmer down to any 7 million player, 6.5 million player, even a 5.5 if you have to. And I'd definitely be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I can't.
Well, yeah, it seems to be the template move at the moment, the upgrade and downgrade style. It's spot on with all the players. Completely agree with all your takes. I want to briefly get your take, okay, Rev, on a former Toffee and Hornet, in case Roberto's watching. Richarlison, is he on the radar at all?
It's one of them where he's obviously had a great start to the season. I think with Europe starting now and with rotation being quite imminent, I feel like it's just a matter of time before Richarlison starts sharing some minutes with some of the attackers that are already out there. I love Richarlison. He's forever a player close to my heart, but as an FPL option, it's one of them where, I think with hindsight, I kind of wish I started with him because of the injury to Solanke, and we knew that Solanke was going to be out for the first couple of weeks or maybe just be on the bench. So having Tottenham's number 9 just there, like under a new manager bounce, would have been pretty ideal to have him in our FPL teams. And then as soon as his minutes look precarious, we can transfer him out. But if we're asking us to use a transfer to bring him in, I don't like that as a move. You're muted, Chaza.
I kind of have been thinking about Richarlison a lot and Johnson as well. If you look at the fixture ticker, Tottenham are top for the next 5 game weeks. They've got Bournemouth, who have been leaky. They've got West Ham away, who are awful. They've got Brighton, who are known to concede goals. They've got Wolves at home, and they've got Leeds away, and then even Villa, you could say. But yeah, those next 5 for Tottenham, if you're bringing on a Tottenham player, I would not be mad about that. I think I always wanted to get Solanke in. I thought he was the better player, but then you hear Thomas Frank saying stuff like, "No, I love Richarlison. He's my star
He's my number
striker.
9, yeah.
He's the one." That's not filled me with confidence for Solanke, who hasn't started the season, who hasn't got minutes, and Richarlison is doing well. I just don't see how Spurs don't, like, they're top of the league equal after their start. They've got easy fixtures. They're going to be raring to go in these 5 games, and I don't think these teams have the quality to stop them, to be honest. So Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool, 3 very strong sides. Tottenham have got a really good manager this year.
Yeah. I think it's one of those where with the Tottenham team, I think it's pretty clear that Tottenham are a really good side right now. And, you know, in FPL, you always do have to strike while the iron is hot. When it comes to which player to go for, though, that's where the real issue lies for me, because Richarlison, I know that he's being bigged up by Thomas Frank, but, like, let's say he drops an absolute stinker. We know his injury record hasn't been great over the last couple of seasons as well.
Yeah.
You know, and Solanke's just there. He's just there waiting. We could go for Johnson, but I'm not too sure about his minutes. Some people are saying, oh, we could go with Sarr. You know, he's only 5 million. But the rumour is that Lucas Paqueta of West Ham is being lined up for a move to Spurs. And that would take that number 10 role, filling the void that James Maddison has left through injury. So I think if we want Tottenham players, it's just the defenders that I'm really looking at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we've got an FPL deadline on Saturday. The transfer window closes on Monday, and then it's the international break. And then, you know, Richarlison, he might be going. Is he going on international duty? Is he leaving the continent? Then he might get rested when he comes back. You never know. So that's why, for me this week, and any changes I've made, I've actually planned to just see if I can roll this week, because there's a long time until game week 4. There's not someone that I'm saying, right, I need to get him in, apart from Chris Wood, who I can't get in because I'm tripled up in Forest. So I'm really stuck on, can I just get away with rolling? There's going to be so many transfers, I think. It's already been a crazy window. Tottenham are definitely going to sign someone. You never know who they're going to get. And all these other teams are going to sign people. But yeah, definitely look interesting. And I think Tottenham will do well this year. And you can, even if he drops a stinker v Bournemouth, you'll still want him for these next 4. Like, unless he gets injured, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at the fixture ticker, Villa have got good fixtures, but like I said, next to Palace and Everton, I rate those 2 defenses. So you can see them not scoring again here. And, you know, there's only 2 teams that haven't scored a goal yet in this season, and one of them's Villa.
It's wild, isn't it?
Then you've got Newcastle, but with all their madness going on and all their attacking injuries, gosh, you know, someone's going to be a star in these 2 games in the Newcastle team. Is it going to be Elanga? Is it going to be Barnes? Is it going to be Murphy? Kind of the same as Tottenham. You don't really know with Gordon out.
It's going to be Dan Burn. We know the answer's Dan Burn.
And I've seen no one pick any Newcastle players still, even though with these 2 back-to-back fixtures. So
as always, a terrific spreadsheet from you, Marcello. Who needs the actual FDR when we've just got yours? So whenever that's on standby, we're just going to show it all up, flex it with all you got. Right, 100%. Very quickly, Public League, tight start at the moment. Kudos to the couple of managers who managed a more than 80-point game week in game week 2. But I mean, those 15 managers triple captain Timber. Absolute time traveler geniuses. Okay, from the Public League, we go straight to the transfer market just to mainly see the top 5 ins and outs. And we ask, as always, the panel members, are there any particular surprises? I'll just go very brief on my end. For goodness sake. It seems there's no surprises on the transfer ins. Actually, maybe Ekatike is the intriguing one, especially with the points.
You can share my screen, mate, if you want.
Awesome.
I've got it up.
We'll do. And the transfers out was mainly a red who's just not hitting the FPL hype that we're sort of hoping for, and others that are just proper. Well, they got flags on them. It's simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Over to you both.
Go on, Cello.
Yes, Semenyo, I feel like I loved his last fixture, but gets a bit trickier now with Tottenham. Okay, Brighton at home might be okay. Newcastle and Leeds. I feel like last week was the entry point for Semenyo. Not as keen this week.
Mm-hmm.
João Pedro again, the fixtures. You've kind of missed that good West Ham fixture, and they're actually right low down the chart now. No Parma, obviously. Esteval came in, and I think he was man of the match, wasn't he? So maybe they might do better without Parma. But yeah, I can understand the João Pedro hype. Richarlison, as we just said, Wood, I think, should be top of the list. Ekatike, again, Arsenal game, but then it's Burnley and Everton. So yeah, I mean, if Isak comes in, he's still not going to be fit. He's not going to come straight into the starting lineup, I don't think. He hasn't been training with Newcastle, has he? So he's going to need a couple, 3 or 4 weeks at least to settle in.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, not that I completely disagree. I think it's a really good point. But also, like, what's the reported transfer fee for Isak? Like, what are we thinking? Like 100 and something mil at least, right? Minimum.
Yeah, more than that, yeah. It's going to be crazy.
I think, you know, Isak has been training away from the first team. He has been keeping himself fit. But
you'd put him straight in over Ekatike. He's been playing outstanding.
Well, I'd put Ekatike out left and put Isak up top.
Okay.
Because
then, or are you dropping words?
One of them. They'd all have to share minutes anyway, eventually. But I think the point that I'm trying to make is that you don't spend £150 million on a player to just come in on the bench. Like, he has to be, like, to justify that kind of outlet. Like, it needs to be what's known as like a key player. You know, not even a first team player, like a key player. You know, someone who's like talismanic almost. Talismanic for the team, and so I just think he goes straight in.
Wow. No,
yeah,
I can't see that.
Can't see it. Okay, fair enough.
Burnley, Isak starting lineup over the international break.
Not playing. You know, this weekend, but I think, you know, if he has 3 weeks, 2 weeks over the international break to embed himself into the team and train with the first team squad, I don't see any reason why he doesn't start.
Maybe against Everton in game week 5 at the earliest, but I think that'd be very unfair on Ekatike. But we'll see.
It's not personal. It's just business. You know, like. You know, £150 million. Like, if you're a member of the board, and you know you're forking out at a cool £150 million on a player, and then your manager is just sat there benching him for a couple of weeks or 3 or 4 weeks, you'd be like, "Excuse me, whoa." You know, I just think, you know, that there are politics at play in football. And
so if he signs today, when would you be looking to get Isak in your team? For game week 4 against Burnley? For Everton, game week
definitely
5?
over the international break, yeah.
Really?
100%, yeah. Yeah, he'd be going straight in my team.
So there you go. If you're bringing Palmer in, leave a plan to get to Isak.
Well, that's where I'm going to go with my little plan in a little bit. I've got a plan. because the truth is, guys, it might not happen. And also, Maresca can come out tomorrow and be like, yeah, Cole Palmer's fine. And all this drama was for nothing. All of this FPL drama. So, but I've got a plan for sure. But we'll get to that in a bit.
It will do. And might just keep it on your screen because you've got the momentum displaying everything that is needed at the moment. Rev, could you please show us on that beloved page the fixtures for the upcoming weekend? Because we've got a triple header on Sunday. Saturday's looking plenty almighty as well. Lads, one standout fixture that you're looking forward to, or you think as, boy, oh boy, a lot at stake from an FPL perspective.
Oh, lots of some juicy fixtures there.
There is. All right, I'm going to start actually. Stuff it. I'm just going.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
I am going to go Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace because this is a big game for not Jean-Philippe Mateta. Munoz just eventually got on the score sheet. Doesn't seem as a game on paper for Palace where they could keep a clean sheet up against the side who we're just so disappointed by in the opening couple of weeks. In Aston Villa, it's just a lot of players. I feel this is probably their make or break, or else they are on the chopping block coming into international break. So that is why I'm saving the best for last. 7 o'clock on a Sunday. You might want to delay your Sunday roast until 10. Over to you, Rev or Marcello.
Go on, Cello. You go first, mate.
Well, I'm tripled up on Forest, so I hope they batter West Ham to 0. Anderson gets a couple assists. Hope he finally gets DEFCON because he's missed it by once, 2 games in a row now. And that's really starting to annoy me. And yeah, double Forest defense. Like, if they don't get a clean sheet here, I'm going to have to start thinking about changing things up because what's going on? They're meant to be the clean sheet team.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I've got Marcello in my team going, come on, please. Give me some points, man. Yeah. And I think the fixture for me, and sorry to be, a perpetrator of Everton Football Club propaganda as usual. However, Wolves versus Everton. Everton had a really good game last week. And despite a slow start against Leeds, with Jack Grealish on the pitch, like going forward, at least we looked really good. Jack Grealish is just class. He's absolutely class. And the way he controlled that midfield, the way he kept hold of the ball for us, it's something that we haven't had in a long, long time. At least not, like, I can't remember a player that can keep hold of the ball like him since maybe Arteta, for Everton. And so I feel like that's huge for us. And Jack Grealish came in with 2 great assists. And at 6.5 million, the bias in me is going, oh, I could triple up on Everton. But I'm going to hold my horses at the moment. And I think Kieran Dewsbury Hall as well has looked all right. And I think in this Everton side, he will do really well. He was rested during the midweek cup game as well, so I expect him to start again. So, if you are in here with KDH in your team, I'm thinking, yeah, there's absolutely no reason to be worrying about his midweek benching. It was a Carabao Cup game and Carabao Cup, FA Cup, can't remember, but whatever, cup game. So yeah, all eyes on that game for me for many reasons. Just so I can cheer when Tarkowski gets his last clearance as well.
I like it. No, there's some excellent choices. Not to, of course, just briefly mention, I think from a Premier League perspective, it's for Liverpool, Arsenal, 2 of the proper genuine title contenders for the season. Right. I'm going to politely remove that. But what I'm going to move into the frame is a big, juicy part of the show. Rover's been G'd up about this for the last hour. Talking about cold replacements for certain Cole Palmer and who we bring in. They could strike gold themselves. But, Rev, all yours.
Okay, share my screen, please, Chaza, because I've got some options here, and I feel like we've all got some options as to what the heck to do with this man. So the first thing that I think we should all do is wait for tomorrow. Okay, the press conference and the information from that is going to be key. So if you've got Cole Palmer, hold the line for now. There's no reason to transfer him out. Even if he makes the bench tomorrow, I think he's worth keeping. Right? Even if he says he'll have to come on for the last half an hour or something, I still think that's worth keeping him. I don't think that's worth wasting a transfer fair on. However, if we know that Cole Palmer isn't going to start, there are certain things that we can do to strike while the iron is hot. Now, a lot of this will depend on a couple of things. It'll depend on what happens with Isak, right? And it will depend on what happens with Manchester United. And it will also depend on whether or not we think Cole Palmer could be back for game week 4. And so here's what I'm suggesting, right? And I promise you this isn't more Everton propaganda. Because if we want to switch our structure to a 3-4-3, then one of the things that we're going to need to do is keep a cheap midfielder who will play 90 minutes, who might get some attacking contributions or be good at DEFCON. Now, we can't go to Sarr from Tottenham because of the Paqueta rumours, right? That scares me too much. So what we could do is we could do this. Bring in Dewsbury Hall, right? And he just sits on our bench, right? And if we ever need a player to go on our bench and to come on and play for us, there's a player there who's on loads of set pieces. And by the way, his quality of delivery took a step up. It wasn't perfect every time. I'll give him that, right? But there were several crosses which I thought, ooh, he's close, right? So, however, he's just an enabler. So 5.5 mil in the bank. Then we go to this gentleman here and we remove him and we bring in Chris Wood. That is what I would do. However, this is not even the master plan because look at this little juicy number here. 2.3 million in the bank. Okay. And we don't do a -4, okay? I'm not advocating for any Reidy type tactics here. Okay, I'm saying this 2.3 million will be absolutely essential for various pieces of information that will happen once the transfer market closes or when we get some more news on Cole Palmer. Because we can do two things from this point. So we're obviously going to get one more transfer for the next game week. Now, what we could do is we could look at this absolute stinker who's been on our teams, right? And if Cole Palmer is fit, we can just bring Palmer back in. And we've got rid of the Man United problem, right? And we've still got 0.8 in the bank. However, okay, let's get rid of him. Let's put Dewsbury Hall back in.
Bruno.
Bruno, sorry.
B. Dot.
Ugh. Yeah, Fernandez. However, if Liverpool sign Isak, see you later.
No, he's got Sunderland next week.
No, he's got Sunderland game week 5. He plays the mighty Everton. He's not getting anything in that game. However, Isak, obviously he'll be playing for Liverpool at that point. Game week 4. I believe if you spend £150 million on a player, he has to play. He has been training away from Newcastle. He will be fit. He'll have 2 weeks to spend with the team. I'm not sure if people do agree, but they've got Burnley, Everton, Palace, Chelsea, Man United, Brentford, Villa. Even Man City is a decent game because they're conceding goals. So it gives us that option, but also it gives us the option, if it doesn't happen, to hokey cokey with Cole Palmer, to put our whole self in, take his whole self out, And I believe that could be a move. Eventually, our team could look like this. And we switch to the 3-4-3. We have Dewsbury Hall on our bench to come along and, give us that security on our bench. We've also got options like Anderson and Esteve on the bench there as well. But I think that is, but it's all dependent on what Maresca says. And then it's dependent on whether or not Liverpool sign Isak. I just think if Liverpool sign Isak, it's game over for the league anyway, because he'll score a bunch, but he'll be the focal point of that team. And yeah, and I know Marcello might not agree, and that's fine. But I just think that if you spend 150 million pounds on a player, he needs to be starting every week. And he's got enough time with the squad after the deadline closes. So there you go. Thoughts, everyone?
What do you think, Chaza?
Well, there's a bit going on. I agree with the spare money. Information is incredibly key. Having money in the bank is valuable. And I'll give kudos to those who had $500,000 to start the season where they could just make the early switches needed without hesitation. There's not much I can really say that is sort of against it. I mean, I think you're simply ready for whatever comes your way. Now, this guy's probably on his break from drag racing tonight. Haaland, what do you reckon? Is he coming into the frame or not?
Not really. At least not until game week 6 for me.
Yeah.
That's fair. No, that's all I want to say.
Yeah.
He might do well this week.
Yeah. I mean, Brighton, United, Arsenal, not like, doesn't seem necessary, but
I would rather Chris Wood for the next 4 weeks.
that's valid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's my plan with like, I'm trying to find a creative solution. I don't have infinite transfers. I only made 3 and then 1 next week. In Melon. But it's just a creative solution as to what to do with Cole Palmer. It allows us to maybe get Bruno Fernandes out of our team if we think that he's going to continue to stink up our team, and get Cole Palmer back. It also gives us a route into Isak if that's something that happens as well. It also gives us Chris Wood against West Ham, which is great. It also gives us Dewsbury Hall as an excellent enabler that is ready to come in on the bench and allow us to save more transfers, because we've got a really solid player who's going to play 90 minutes, who's on set pieces. So yeah, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, I like it. I think you'll do that, and then Watkins will score against Palace, and then you won't want to sell him, and then you won't be sure about Isak. But then that could leave your route to Haaland in route 6 in game week 6 without a wild card. You could downgrade Bruno to another cheaper enabler and do, Wood or Pedro or Watkins to Haaland in 6. But I don't think you'll be selling Watkins before Burnley in 7 personally, but you might if he carries on stinking up against Sunderland.
It depends, if Aston Villa perform the way that they did again against Palace, I won't even have to think twice about it. They just don't look good.
Yeah.
My
friend at work, he's an Arsenal fan. He's like, that's it. I'm selling Watkins. I'm selling Rodgers. It's Mick Arteta. I've seen this before. When Mick Arteta starts doing bad as a manager, he can't pick up the pieces and make things right again. So cashing out early. He was having flashbacks.
Yeah, true.
But for me, I'm going to stick by Watkins. He's too quality. It's only 2 games.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And thank you very much for that beloved presentation. While you're there, I think it's just a great segue to the next segment. That is our sides for game week 4. I mean, I don't believe we've missed much on the agenda, so go for it. Strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I mean, I've got me. I can get my team up here.
Yeah.
I think there's Chaz is obviously going to go into this chat a little bit more with the captain's corner. But before we just get into our team, he says, "Do we mean Emery?" I think we did mean Unai Emery. Good evening. Adam Brennan says, "With Palmer, Rogers, and Ndiaye in my team, who do I remove for Semenyo?" Well, just see what Maresca says, but I don't think Semenyo is a player that you need to go out and get, mate. But if Palmer is out next week, then I feel like Semenyo is a perfectly good move for you. Yeah. Okay. So here's my team. You'll notice at the minute, like a lot of people are captaining Bruno Fernandes this week. There seems to be a lot of content creators going for that after the midweek game of what Marcello rightly described as a very dejected Amorim. I don't think I'll be captaining a Manchester United player this week if they've just lost to Grimsby. I can't see it happening. You know, if Man United even lose, it'll be Man United. It'll be Amorim's last game. I can't see him staying if they lose to Burnley as well. That would just be horrendous. So yeah, it just leaves me no faith to captain Bruno. Right now, the armband is on Salah. I think that Liverpool will look to control the game, especially with the knowledge that Saka and Ødegaard are both unavailable due to injury. For me, when I look at that Arsenal team, if I was picking that team, the first two names on the team sheet would be Saka and Ødegaard. You know, like that would just be that for me. And the fact that they're both missing is an issue. If Cole Palmer is out and I end up doing Palmer to Dewsbury Hall and then our Sunderland striker up to Chris Wood, then I will captain Chris Wood against West Ham. And I feel like that's the move. So, yeah, waiting obviously to see what happens in the Chelsea press conference tomorrow, but we'll get more information then.
Yeah, all great team, but
other than that, I'm expecting 4 clean sheets at the back. Like, yeah, I mean, that's not unreasonable. You know, it's West Ham, Wolves, Bournemouth, and Fulham. So yeah, hoping my big at the back, quote unquote, big at the back strategy is going to work.
I can't wait for Eze to debut on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of responsibility without the other two on the pitch.
I love that responsibility. I think he's so happy to be at Arsenal.
Yeah. I know it's sad seeing players that you like go as well, and you know, it's one of them where
as we get 65 million for him, I'm sure it'll be gone to good use, and we've got a replacement already in Jeremy Pino. So see how player, he is. Yeah. He looks quite attacking from the one video that I've seen of him.
Yeah, good stuff.
Well, thank you, Reverend Marcello. You just seem raring to go, and don't tell me this is proper 2021 you've got up on.
Well, I see your 4 clean sheets, and I raise you to my 6 clean sheets.
Let's see.
Oh, there we go. He's going very big at the back. Okay.
This is the week of clean sheets, I hope. Apart from in the Burnley game where Bruno's going to score a hat-trick of penalties and redeem himself and save Amorim. So like I said, international break. I could, do a madness, use all my transfers, and then I feel like I did this last year, and I was like, why did I make all those transfers ahead of the international break? Now my team's ruined. I've only got 1 transfer. Just want to have 3 transfers going into game week 4, I think. So let's just put Palmer on the bench. Personally, I don't think he's going to play, but so I could put him in my team. I don't think he'd do that well against Fulham either way. Like, he's had his knock for a while. He's got England coming up. He doesn't want to play for England. All these English players, they don't want to play for their country anyway. They just want to be at Carnival, whining and doing a madness. Like, I couldn't believe Palmer was spotted at Notting Hill Carnival like the day after I captained him. Like, come on, mate. I needed you to score 3 goals and you're out here dirty whining. So yeah, I'm off Palmer. I would sell him. If his price was dropping, I probably would have sold him, but it's so hard to know who to sell him for. And when there's no clear option, I feel like that's because that's a sign that you should be rolling. So if I could get Wood in, it would be Palmer out, downgrade and upgrade Kroopy to Wood. But I can't do that. I would captain Wood. I'm going to stick to my original plan, captain Bruno. Yes, I'm really worried about losing to Grimsby, but it's Burnley at home at Old Trafford. It can't get much worse than that. And if it does, then...
It can.
Oh, it can. Oh, it can. I love the way we both went straight to that meme. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the plan. The plan was even to you could even be tempted to bring in Boomo or Cunha, but no, I don't want to do that now. So yeah, don't really fancy captaining Salah for Arsenal. Hopefully Anderson can get some assists again. Hopefully Watkins wakes up against Palace, but hopefully if he doesn't, then Lacroix's there for the clean sheets. And João Pedro v Fulham. Thought about captaining João Pedro, but early kickoff.
Gandhi.
No, I'll leave that one. Alone. I think target the easiest teams. And look at my defenders, like Wolves, Sunderland, West Ham, Fulham, and Villa. Like, you could see those teams not scoring. So, yeah, this is what I'm at. And yeah, I probably will sell Palmer to Johnson or someone, but I don't want to do that. I feel like I regret it.
Here's a consideration. If Palmer's not on the pitch, who's on pens?
Yeah, Pedro, exactly. He's gonna be really good asset to own.
So with the logic, right, is that João Pedro's minutes are even more secure.
Oh yeah, brilliant. And on pens.
And now on pens. Does that, and he's playing further forward than Bruno, does that just not make him a better option than Bruno for captaincy?
Yeah, but I think I rate Fulham more than Burnley. Hopefully Dubravka and Steve don't get another clean sheet this week, but you never know.
Oh,
fair play.
Love it. No, that's great. 5 at back. Mate, best of luck. I love a Captain Bruno shout. Tell you who else likes a shout. It's probably someone that came last in this drag racing battle this evening. What is he doing in the backstage?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, boys.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
It's the Reidy.
What's going on?
Lads. Get your team out for the lads.
Hey, listen, Chaz, I don't know what this drag racing is. The only thing I've been dragging is my balls across your mum's face lately, and that's about it.
Dragging these nuts.
Sorry. That's. I mean, is it past 9? No, it's not past 9 o'clock.
That's
I apologize to anyone that was offended. But I'm good, boys. I mean, I've been watching along in the background, and some interesting topics being covered. I'm enjoying it. So. Yeah, I'm back. I mean, I'm here probably for the right time because I know it's team reveal. So, as you were, Marcello.
As you were. Now we keep marching on. As always, Cello, thank you very much. I'm going to flex it, show it off, because I just did this move while Marcello was going through a little bit of reasoning about 60 seconds ago, but he's coming in.
A live transfer.
The Rising King of Nottingham has just checked in about 2 minutes ago. In for that arrow, who's just not been firing at all. So that's one done. One transfer to go.
Who did you get rid of for Wood? Bowen. Yeah.
Bowen. Yeah.
Cool. Great
so,
move.
I've lined it up as this, thinking Palmer might not play. And if that's the case, I don't like fielding Rodon at home to Newcastle, to be honest, or a Senesi. I don't really know what I want out of that Bournemouth Spurs game. So I think Palmer goes. Ultimately,
we're going to see a live transfer.
I don't know, but we'll go 4-3. Go to Reidy's team for now. I might come back.
Someone finish this.
Wait till Saturday. Don't be silly.
Someone finish this sentence for me. Information is
key.
There we go. Come on, Chaza. Come on. Thought you'd have learned by now.
Well, we're just trying to get him to make a mistake, mate.
I mean, all right. If you were to take Palmer out, who's the guy?
Semenyo is currently in pole position. Then Brendan Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah. I know someone said it was
it is a tough one.
Week. Yeah.
It's a tough one.
And I know obviously I came in at a moment when Marcello had kind of gone through. You've gone through your team already, but did I see some big booty at the back? What the hell's going on, man?
Yeah. He's really throwing it back there, isn't he? He's got that junk in his trunk.
Yeah, the next one, mate. 4th floor for all of them defenders.
Wow. Brave.
What is he going to do with all that junk up in that trunk? You know, that's the question.
I don't know. He's brave. He's bold. He's all the bees. But I mean, it could. Who are you benching then to put these defenders in?
Palmer.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, it's fair.
Palmer's out. So no transfers this week.
I don't want to make a transfer because of the international break and the transfer window closing on Monday. So just wait a week, let the things settle down, and then I'll have 3 transfers to really attack. Palace's 2 fixtures, Liverpool's 2 fixtures. Spurs will have 4 great fixtures. Villa will have 4 great fixtures. Forest will still have 2 great fixtures.
Marcello, do you want to just go through all 20 teams?
No, but to be fair, it literally sounds like chess. That's what it sounds like you're doing, Marcello. You're kind of waiting, being patient.
Just waiting. I trust my players. I trust my picks. They haven't delivered. It's been 2 weeks. It's coming. They're good players.
Wow. Very relaxed, very chilled. Anyone? So you brought in Wood, Chaza, and you've made a move, Mikey, Rev?
No, I'm thinking about making a move. If Cole Palmer's out, I'll go Palmer to Dewsbury Hall, and then just keep him as an enabler on my bench, and just to bring in if anyone ever gets injured. And then I'll go Mark Guiu to Chris Wood, and then I'll captain Chris Wood as a result of that, which I feel like is very solid against the West Ham team that can't buy a result right now.
Yeah, fair enough. So, in other words, I have made a move, and I'm the only one who sounds like I've gone for a player from this team based on a League 2 side beating them in the cup last night. And that is Mr. Brian, big belly bald man, Mbumo. I mean, I did make this move pre, right?
Jesus Christ, really?
So, think of that what you will. He did come on and score. I know it was Grimsby. He did miss his pen though, obviously. So I'm captaining Mbumo this week, given that Man United are absolutely AIDS. Listen,
it doesn't make sense, but it does.
You might laugh. However, who else are you captaining in this side apart from maybe João Pedro? Who else?
Can't get any worse, can it?
We were just talking about João Pedro. So Cole Palmer's off the pitch. Who's on penalties?
Yeah.
Early kickoff.
Yeah, Gandhi doesn't approve, but in great form. Has more responsibility now that Cole Palmer is out. His minutes are more secure. He looked great last week. He'll be on pens. I don't even think it's close.
The other move, if Palmer is out, that I make isn't someone who's probably captainable, and it is someone like Anthony Elanga. So,
okay.
The difficult decision for me is I don't have Salah and I don't have Chris Wood. So, am I basically putting my neck on the line with Brian and Mbumo?
I like it. Good job.
Yes, but do you know what, boys? I think I'm going to probably stick to it because I think Man United are going to be embarrassed. I mean, they should be embarrassed, but I think the embarrassments and the fact that they're not doing everything for that shirt. I'm not expecting to go and batter Burnley like 7-0 or something, but I think there will be a good few goals in that. So I'm going to keep the faith. And if it backfires, it backfires. But if ideally I don't have to transfer Palmer out, I mean, similar to you, Marcello, I don't want to have to make it extra transfers. So I'm hoping Palmer is kind of like, okay. Absolutely suicidal. I know. I don't know what's going on.
I think Regina's spot on, mate. I think you've already done it though, so
yeah,
nothing that can be done
already. So it is what it is. It was the plan, so it was the strategy that I had in place.
Tenzon's absolutely annihilated you. That's a great show, Reidy. I'm planning to triple captain Onana. That's a violation.
Tenzon has lost all faith in his club, his players, and himself by the looks of things these days.
Yeah.
I've got to go for it. I mean, I think this week, if you're free hitting, you probably have more than one United player in your team. I'm not free hitting. I'm not going to use a free hit. But you probably still do go for a couple of United players. And I'm just hoping that something kind of like, they're at Old Trafford. The fans are going to be rowdy as hell. They're going to be giving it to them big time. There is going to be that pressure of you don't score in the first 10, 20 minutes and, it goes quiet and whatnot. But, yeah, if Palmer's fine, then it saves me a transfer. I get Salah. Yeah, so that's the plan for me. Get Salah in 4. I'll even tell you this much. I'll let you into a little secret, Mikey, because you're getting so carried away with Everton players. I'm looking to potentially have 4 Liverpool players for Burnley. 4 Liverpool players.
That's a great idea.
So at the minute, obviously I've got Gakpo and Words. I'm going to go to Salah next week. And then you never know. I might get in a cheeky little Isak or Ekatike, depending on what happens. So yeah, that's me for this week, boys. I'll take all the laughs until I'm either proven wrong or right after the weekend.
Well, Web was top of my predicted points spreadsheet for Gameweek 3.
Oh, yes.
Number one pick, mate.
Love you. Yes. There we go. That's all that needs to be said.
Wow.
There we go. So are we all captain?
Yeah, just like Regina says, fair. If it works out for you, it works out. Man United were just woeful, man.
Yeah.
They were just woeful.
But you're captain and Salah if you don't get Wood. If Palmer's fine, you don't get Wood, captain Salah.
Yeah, I'm captain and Salah because of the injuries to Saka and Odegaard. So, they're the first 2 names on the Arsenal team sheet. They've lost 2 key players. I just think Liverpool, in an attacking sense at least, look really good. They are at home. Arsenal away from home. Liverpool are going to score. Salah's likely to be involved. And he didn't score in the last game, so that means he's going to score in this game. he's also a big game player. He loves big games. They're playing the title challenges right now, and Salah's going to be smelling blood. So
captain for you, Chaza, is
captains. Well, I'll review straight after this because I've got a certain dot point for certain candidates right here, and I'm going to start with Marcello. Now, it's only 1 point, so it's very short and sharp, this segment, because there's just so much to consider when it comes to variety and the different flavours that are on offer. So the Egyptian we'll start off with. 11 goals and 4 assists in 16 league appearances, having spanned across 8 seasons against the Amazon title contenders, all or nothing in Arsenal. Bruno Fernandes, well, that's who people like to call him on FIFA. He's averaged 9.2 points in his 6 outings against promoted sides last season, which consisted of 2 goals and 7 assists, Burnley being another promoted side. There you have it, Chris Wood. He's been the talk of the town. Devise, I'm not going to say the W word in that sentence, but you get the picture. At the City Ground last season, he managed 16 chances in a situation where the player is expected to score. And in such the stat, that is 12 more than any other Nottingham Forest teammate. Erling Haaland, which is one who hasn't really been mentioned this episode, but a great fixture as well, away at the Amex, facing Brighton. He has returned in every match, having featured against the Seagulls in the league. in his 5 outings, he has scored 5 goals alongside an assist. So there you go. There's your Fab 4, but there's plenty to consider for our beautiful core of our fantasy teams. Back to the studio, because we've got such a star-studded panel now. It's not many. I mean, I've run out of words to describe how beautiful Marcello and Rev is, and bloody Reidy.
Hey?
Bloody Reidy.
What's wrong, mate?
I'm just mewing on the haters. You know, that's how we do it.
Yeah, that's probably the shortest list of captains you've ever had, Chaza. I mean, what's going on, mate?
I need more songs back in my life, Chaza. You know, where's the songs gone?
But ask my boss next week, yeah. I know.
Yeah, fair play.
All right. That probably does it, unless Reidy wants to mention anything else.
Oh, Reidy, can I get your opinion as a Liverpool fan?
Oh.
Okay, me and Marcello respectfully disagree about this. If Liverpool sign Isak, does he start against Burnley?
What we talking? So we got a 2-week break. Transfer window closes Monday. Obviously, you'd expect him to be signed over the weekend, or the wheels in motion at least, ready for Monday. 2 weeks to get, I don't know, international minutes. Do we fake an injury and then he ends up being pulled out? And then, you'd expect something like that to happen, wouldn't you? You would expect it. He's not lack of match fitness. It is a strange one, that how Sweden have actually selected him for international duty when he's not actually had any minutes on the pitch as such. So my take on that is it's a risk. It's a risk. I don't think that he's guaranteed to go straight in, especially with Ekatike there, Gakpo, Salah. We're playing Burnley at the end of the day. However, wouldn't it be great at home, early kickoff?
Could be one to blood him in.
Isak's first game is against no other than
Everton.
That's what I mean.
Everton.
Well,
so I mean, when I say I'm going to go for Liverpool against Burnley, that necessarily isn't the case, because if Isak, if he's not going to be there for that game, or he's not going to be ready for that game, then it's a no-go. And that's my honest opinion on it. And I think that makes sense. But I mean, everyone can do what they want. If you think you want to get it, you want to, yeah.
What's the reported transfer fee though?
I think it'd be around 120 million plus add-ons. I don't think it comes anywhere near 150.
I don't see a world in which you have 120 million sat on the bench.
Well, no, it doesn't. But you've got to look at the situation. You've got to look at what he's been through, all the the backlash from the fans. He's got to put himself back in a place where he's ready to play Premier League football. He's playing for a bigger team. No disrespect to Newcastle, a bigger club, if you like, maybe not a bigger team, but a bigger club. And he's got to fit in to the system, and also Ekatike's been doing great. If Ekatike had been really bad at the beginning of the season, you go, all right, he's straight in there, no worries. But the fact is,
he gets injured.
Oh, he gets injured, yeah. So I would never ever say that, he's definitely going to be starting for Burnley, because it's a game where we can potentially afford to give him a bit longer ready for Everton, which is going to be, that's going to be a much tougher game than Burnley.
I mean, even Everton, then you're selling Watkins against Sunderland away that week. It's a risk.
I just think, if Liverpool sign Isak though for 120 mil, it's Isak. We know what he could do in Newcastle. He's going to be getting it absolutely on a plate from Salah, from Gakpo, from Wirtz, from McAllister, from Gravenberch, from Szoboszlai. He's going to be getting some service like he's never had before. It's going to be. I think he's probably even going to be a contender for the Golden Boot, for sure. And when he signs, it's just going to be a question of who's going to blink first, and does the early bird get the worm in this case?
Yeah. I mean, it's a big fee, big money. You'd think straight in the team. I just think a lot has gone on there, and I think the fact that we've got an international break coming up before Burnley, you know, we know exactly what international breaks can do. You know, in terms of players getting injured, coming back, and then you know something happens where they're late from South American teams. Look at Arsenal, like Gabriel, for example, not then ready, and you know some of the top teams anyway have got a bigger squads where they can afford to rotate. So I think that does play a part in it. But you know what? Listen, not to put a dampener on it, I can't wait to see him in a Liverpool shirt. And you know, in FPL, it's right. It might be worse now that if the fact that he signs for us and that we can't kind of have as many Liverpool players, or we can't basically have a Newcastle player that's nailed there that we can kind of set and forget, if you like. But it just adds more to the spice of things for the Premier League, I guess. We need him. So, yeah.
So, just for context, Sweden play Slovenia on the 5th of September and Kosovo on the 8th of September. There are two games where I think if he gets 60 minutes in both of those games,
true. That will help
like
him.
He could be match fit.
Yeah.
You know, it could be one of them.
Yeah. Maybe those games are used as the minutes in the legs. You never know.
Exactly.
However, if you're in Liverpool's position and you've just signed a player for 150 or nearly 150 million, say 130 mil, are you going to want that risk of him potentially then going on international duty and getting injured when you could just wrap him in cotton wool and you could go, let's train him at the facility, let's get him playing maybe with the under-21s or whoever, and let's build him and get him ready for Burnley or Everton. That, to me, makes more sense. And you look time again, these fake or these ghost injuries that players get conveniently before
around the international
or they get
break,
pulled up, and we see how many England players then pull out. You know, so that wouldn't surprise me at all. Minutes in the legs are going to mean more for him in the season than they are him playing for Sweden before he actually gets to kick a ball for us, in my opinion. So,
okay, fair play.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's the wheels are in motion, boys? And you never know.
Yeah, man.
We have a few more signings for you guys before the window closes.
That does it for Gameweek 3. I hope everyone enjoys Gameweek 3 this coming weekend, unless you're captaining Brian and Boomo. Enjoy the international break. We'll catch you on the other side. And if Boomo seriously bangs once again against Burnley, we won't hear the end of it. It's as simple as that. And Jack, I know you're in the UK at the moment, but I hope you're eating as much shit as possible. Until next time, catch you all.